The Italian states are under siege by the Holy Roman Emperor. Can they withstand his holy fury? Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Total War Attila 1212 Medieval Kingdoms. We are back with another massive 3 vs 3 online battle, and this one is shaping up to be one hell of an engagement. You can already see a bit of the city has been destroyed by the great bombard right here, which has been unrelentingly hitting the city until breaches start to appear. You can see towers over there have also been destroyed, just, you know, the artillery coming in, basically trying to soften up the city for the siege that is about to occur. So on the side of the Holy Roman Emperor, which is the attacking side, obviously we have the HRE, his soldiers, which I think are over on this left-hand side. Yeah, here's the HRE, so they're going to be taking the left-hand side with a whole range of archers. They have 3 or 4 units of these heavy bowmen. Behind them, we're going to be having some of these heavy dismounted Imperial Ritter. So basically mounted knights that have kind of got off their horses for this siege battle, armored with, you know, a lot of armor, heavy swords, and some pretty awesome helmets. So these guys are going to be a difficult unit to try and take down. We also obviously have some more heavy knights over here. So a lot of two-handed swords for the HRE in this engagement. Yeah, look at these guys. They are ready for combat, that is for sure. And then we also have the Emperor's bodyguard. The Emperor himself is leading the assault, which is goddamn awesome. Look at them. Amazing. Then over supporting the HRE army, we have a contingent of Flanders. So the Dutch have come all the way down to go ahead and reinforce this army. The Emperor has called and this prince has gone ahead and joined. So again, he's going to have a whole range of archers to obviously help, you know, fight his way through the city. Behind that, again, just so many two-handed swords. Is this a two-handed sword party? Where are all the knights with shields and stuff? But again, look at these bad boys, dismounted Flemish knights. We also have some brothers of St. George's. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure if this is specific to Flanders or if this is like a mercenary unit, but they look cool nonetheless. And then I imagine all the sword infantry is probably in the siege towers. Yeah, a lot of the siege sword infantry are in the a lot of the shield infantry are in the siege towers, and I imagine that's going to be the same for Flanders. No, for the HRE, no, it's not. So yeah, the HRE just going full man mode. And then over on this side, we do have the Elector Prince Trier. I think that's how you pronounce it, Trier. Maybe mistaken, but they are one of the electors in the HRE, and they're bringing a whole assortment of infantry. They're actually bringing some shielded infantry. They obviously did not get the memo about the two-handed sword party that's going to happen inside the Italian city when they storm it and take it, if they storm it and take it. Also, something really interesting to note as well for the attackers is they don't have that many crossbows. I think Trier and the HRE are the only ones bringing a handful of crossbows, whereas the Italians are extremely deadly with the crossbow in question. You know, they have a lot of these Pavese crossbowmen, which are just going to be doing tons of damage if left alone and allowed to shoot. Some of the artillery up here on the walls from the Italians as well. They've got some cannon just hitting away. Oh yeah, and I was also told, I believe, that this battle mainly consists of tier 1s and tier 2s. So this is going to mainly be a lower tier battle than you're used to seeing. We're not going to be having any of the super high period units. I don't think so anyway. Yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure this is just completely down to, I can actually double check really quickly. Yeah, so this is basically just solely tier 2s and 1s. So you're not going to be seeing any super high tier units, which is probably why you're seeing a lot of these two-handed sword infantry, which should be cool. It's going to make for a different battle, a bit more interesting, and probably why you're not seeing a ton of these Pavese crossbowmen in the battle and more archers, as that period hasn't really come into fruition yet. As if you don't know, 1212, as we do actually lose some walls over here. Yeah, a breach right here. Yeah, so if you don't know, 1212 works off a free tier system. In the campaign, it's going to be 3 periods of history. So each 100 years is going to kind of go into another set of history, and that's going to, you know, kind of push forward the technology, which I really dig. It's something like from Medieval 2, I really enjoyed, and that's kind of what the tier systems are here to represent. You know, the 1200s, 1300s, and then the 1400s, which is, yeah, just cool. So anyway, so we have defending, we have an army of Genoa, Milan, and also Venice. So the Italian states have come together to prevent these foreign attackers from making their way in. I mean, no, Milan was part of the HRE at some point. I'm not sure if that was much later. But anyway, we have some of these Hyperion archers. They're going to be reinforced by some lowly armored swordsmen. I mean, they say they're Hyperion, but they don't really have a lot of armor on these guys whatsoever. They just got cool shields and swords, but that chest armor is extremely vulnerable. Lots more low infantry. We have some of the militia spearmen. So yeah, these are basically the lowest tier infantry. And they're not looking. Look at their shields. They look like they're paper, like cardboard. They're gonna get ripped apart if they're not too careful. We actually even have some gunners back here, which is interesting, of the high period. So that's gonna be deadly. We have some of the Venetian spearmen set up along here. We also have some of these awesome-looking Venetian infantry as well. These guys kind of look like they're mercenaries from the Balkans or something. Very, very awesome equipment. We also have some of the beautiful Venetian knights, always so colourful. More crossbowmen scattered across the city. Some more infantry, again from Venice. These guys are probably going to do pretty good, just normal knights. Over on the far right-hand side, who do we have? We do have the army of Milan. So we've got some halberds set up with some of the shields. These back dudes looking awesome. We have some crossbows back here. And then just a whole range of other infantry, which are going to be helping out here, just supporting the forces. So let's just jump ahead until the siege does begin. And I'll see you guys right when the battle is about to begin. Well, guys, whilst the bombardment phase was going down, you see another piece of a war going down. But also, there's a nice little sally forth here by the Venetians. And they're going to catch this great bombard with a couple more shots left remaining. This is a really nice move here by the Venetians, and just slow of Flanders to go ahead and counter that. They're going to charge in and probably cut down this artillery crew. I'm not sure if they were just looking to harass that. If I was them, maybe I'd stick in, because they can just get back on the artillery, so maybe it's a good idea to stay in. But obviously Flanders is moving up with their own knights as well, try and scare off the Venetians sally forth. So yeah, the Venetians are going to retreat back. Not a bad move right there though, sallying out, trying to scare off the bombard, trying to take it down. Now granted, they did do some great damage to it, but they can probably just get back on and fire their last couple shots. So overall, that was a good maneuver. If it would have paid off, they could have killed that bombard and maybe saved themselves an extra breach or so. Just quickly taking a look at the overall city, you can see the city is in flames right now. Every tower has been just taken out by this siege. We have many holes just scattered throughout the city. If anything, the left-hand side over here is probably the most intact. They still have like a tower left remaining and no breaches. But over on this side, there are plenty of breaches. So I think this part of the city with Trier and Flanders is going to be the heaviest fighting. Whereas Milan and the HRE are going to have a bit of an easier job. And they're going to be using their own siege towers to their advantage. I mean, they still have all this ammunition left in their bombard and artillery. So there's probably still plenty of artillery still left to be shot and walls to be destroyed. You can see the bombard actually going in right now, looking to destroy more and more of the city as it just crumbles. So again, I will bring it to you guys when the siege towers are at the wall. Okay guys, the siege ladders are going to be hitting the walls any second now, with the siege towers not too long to follow. As well as that, we have infantry blocking every single breach out of the city and into the city, so that they can't just simply sally out with cavalry and do anything annoying in the back lines now that the siege is in full flow. As you can see, they've just kind of basically formed shield wall, waiting for the rest of their infantry to move up. But look how awesome this is as well by the Venetians, with the help. Yeah, it's just the Venetians actually. They formed up a nice little pike square right here with their spearmen, which is going to be awesome. The first little bit of fighting has now begun as the Flemish try to storm the walls themselves, and the Venetians are not going to let them do that without a fight, which I always think is a great idea. You never really want to give up the walls that easily. You want to put up some resistance, not necessarily all the time, especially when you don't have any towers left. But I'm glad to see that the Venetians are putting up at least some fighting on the walls, because giving up the walls really easily just allows the enemy to basically put all of their archers on the wall and just hammer you from a distance with their archers. You can see more fighting over here again. This is again the Flemish, I believe. Yeah, it's more dismounted Flemish knights just jumping in. Alandine from the Fellowship of the Ring is basically what it is when Aragon jumps off Amon Hen. You can see the heavy fighting. It's very hard to tell who's who, but obviously you can kind of make it out. The Venetians are over in the north. Both sides are very colourful uniforms though. This guy not even with a back. Hard fighting though, and if we take a look over here, we can see that there are more HRE units just storming and then making their way off onto the ground. And this is amazing if they could charge off on these crossbows, because one of the really good strategies for defenders is to let the enemy come onto the wall, engage them with some infantry, and then shoot them to pieces, because there's like no defense right there. You can see that's exactly what they're doing. You know, there's like no defense in their sides. They don't have their shields or anything. However, because they haven't defended the entire wall, these dismounted knights are just going to be cutting them down. Look at that. Yeah, brutal. Just doing a lot of damage to these crossbows and sending them back. However, the swordsmen are quickly running back on the wall as the Venetian knights come up and are basically like, bro, if you want to do this, we're good to go. We have more infantry over here as well as the archers do juke things off. And you can see that the soldiers of Milan are defending this breach point, you know, this way down from the walls. They're not going to give it up without a heavy fight. So overall, the battle is mainly just like people getting missiles into position. And this is kind of what I was talking about right now. Just look how strong this will be. Your archers have a direct shot down onto the enemy position, whether it is crossbows or infantry. Again, the crossbows have just as good a shot off on these archers. But it's a great way to advance your infantry. Like, there hasn't really been a lot of infantry fighting, but all right now it's just all about positioning and, you know, pushing the enemy back so that you can get your army in the city for then the heavy infantry fighting to begin. You know, it's all about just duking out your missiles at the beginning of a battle, trying to claim, you know, positions. Because right now, you know, these archers can shoot directly down into these infantrymen. We do have a bit of fighting though. It's always good to see some infantry fighting. Definitely my favourite parts of battles are going to be the heavy cavalry charges and also these heavy infantry engagements. I much prefer the, you know, just sword fighting and stuff rather than, you know, heavy missile fire. But as you can see, the attackers are doing great combinations of both right now, using their archers on the wall to basically support their infantry on the ground to just make these passages quite easy. Because if you look at the range of the fight and of these missiles, you know, the range is going to spread, you know, basically over to the first layers of every single part of the city, you know. So if the defenders want to avoid these missiles, they have to retreat back to, like, the second lane, and that's not too great. Oh, but just some mounted HRE units. This is what I'm really looking forward to, because I haven't really seen many of the Milan troops before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Milan troops fight and how the HRE units fight. Because again, a lot of the units you're seeing now are what you're going to be using in the early parts of the campaign. Yeah, a lot of 12-12 battles, you just see the highest elite units, but obviously in the campaign, you're not going to have the buildings, nor the technology, nor the turn timer to unlock these, you know, new units, these new armor. Why did they turn? Did they get hit by something else? Oh, they are getting hit by something else. Another unit of swordsmen surrounding this HRE unit. This is great by the defenders right now. Milan, with the support of Venice, basically just, you know, using their soldiers to reinforce here. They also have a spearman unit right here as well, holding back the men of the HRE. Not an easy job, let me tell you. And I wonder if the city's taken any damage yet. So one less morale, melee attack and defense. I mean, it does help. It's not something huge. I think most units have like 100 or so, or like 70 something. 46. That's not bad though. Reducing that by 1 or 2, you know, here and there definitely adds up. The HRE are actually going to be beaten back over on this right hand or this left hand side by the Milanian troops. But there are more reinforcements, and as you can see, more dismounted Imperial Ritter charging into the battlefield. So they are not messing around right now. And this is a perfect unit to try and focus down with missiles, because they have no shield. Or at least the other two-handed sword infantry unit we've been seeing have shields on their back. This dismounted Ritter have nothing, so they need to be extremely careful. And they're going to be a great unit to break through shield walls. You know, that armor piercing, that ability to probably ignore shields. And also some more infantry charging in as well. The HRE is going ham right now, looking to make this breach point and put pressure on the other defenders to go ahead and counter. Because obviously, if you see for a second, if the HRE break through this defense, they can then come round and basically lift the defensive, you know, attacks everywhere else. They can come in the back, break off defensive, you know, positions. We have a Venetian cavalry charge out here, which we originally missed. The HRE of the Flanders Knights are going to come in and try and support that. We do have the Venetians trying to blockade this, and this is extremely risky because, as you can see, the archers on the wall are just unloading their bows right now down onto the Knights of the Venice. So, this is going to be a hard nut to crack. And basically, this is just, I imagine, just trying to hold the Flanders army in place for as long as possible. And I mean, they've definitely done some good damage. Heavy Knights in this mod are amazing. They can take on infantry. They can take on, slaughter archers. They're just really, really good, much like they were at the time. So it's great to see them being used effectively. You kind of, obviously they will lose to spear infantry over time, but if you get some really heavy Knights, they'll hold their own against the best infantry. Especially after that initial impact as well. So we have a small detachment of Venetians coming in to help fight in this battle. How's Trier doing? We haven't really looked at them. How's their engagement been doing? Mainly just on the walls right now. They're trying to secure the walls with their crossbowmen, just peppering away at the defenders. Not a bad idea. We actually have an artillery piece coming out as well. Imagine trying to set fire to this. Trying to set fire to this piece of wall by the looks of it, or this siege tower even. Most of their men are just simply fighting on the walls. Is this unit right here as the Trier unit? I think that's how I pronounce it. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologise. I know where it is in the HRE. I'm just not sure because I'm playing a ton of EU4 recently, so I'm quite familiar with a lot of the princes of the HRE. You can see them, they're not coming up against anything too huge. Oh, that was brutal. 2 kills right there. Wow. Deadly. And we can see some cavalry just running amok now by Flanders. They've gone ahead and managed to secure victory over on this hand side. They're still fighting on the walls. But the city is, not looking great. It is in flames. As the men continue to try and fight their best way forward. I mean, look at that. And it's like the cavalry is just running amok right now. Charging, and we're going to actually get a charge through onto the archers. That's going to be huge. If these archers have all their ammunition left, and they're so lightly armored that Knights are going to run them down. I guess at least in the later periods of the campaign, archers are going to be a little bit more survivable because they get a lot more armor. They get more expensive, but they can actually defend themselves. Whereas right now, these guys are just given a piece of cloth and told to go and, just shoot. We do see, though, that the cavalry of Genoa coming in has basically cut off the retreat. We are going to be getting some Trier crossbowmen coming over, and if they can get some shots in, that'll be pretty deadly. I don't think there's any archers, and there's no archers on this wall, so the fighting is just pretty intense right now. As more and more infantry come off, try and fight their ways off on the wall. Over on the HRE, how are they faring now? They are definitely making progress here. They've managed to just win this little period right now. They can basically come round and resupply. I imagine the majority of this victory is down to these crossbowmen right now. Let's have a look. 86 kills on them already. How much ammunition? They have like over half ammunition left. Very nice. And as you can see, they can just demolish this unit of Ducal Guard from Milan, who look, again, really, really cool. They're being shot to pieces right now by the crossbows. And I imagine, is there an archer unit out? Yeah, there's an archer unit here as well. So all the focus is right there. We do, though, have some Milanian crossbowmen. Milanian, is that the right pronunciation? Probably not, but we're going to roll with it. So we have some crossbows from Milan as well, hitting away at the HRE infantry. Right now, though, the attackers do definitely have the advantage. 6,700 men on their side and 5,000 men on the defenders. We get an archer volley coming in right now, trying to pin away a few of these guys. And then obviously we have 8. So overall we have over 16,000 men in the siege battle. Pretty goddamn intense. And I think in the last siege battle we did the defenders won. So it'll be interesting to see if the attackers can kind of right that. People say defenders never win, but a lot of the time in my siege battles that I get sent to by my Discord, the defenders do manage to clutch it. Some in convincing victories, some not so. And also something I should mention as well. I like to, a lot of the time, my Discord are working their way through like a particular scenario, and it's not necessarily always going to be completely balanced, but I think that adds a good story to the battle. You know, they're always, the defenders could win if they do some good stuff, but they're not necessarily always going to be 50-50 battles, which I really, really like, because you know, it puts more emphasis on the story, and you know, it makes it feel more like an actual battle, because there are very few battles in history that were just, you know, 50-50. City is definitely in ruins. Has that sacking thing been turned up a bit? So it's now -2, -2, -2. And again, as I said, that does start to pick up more and more as the city continues to get sieged. Fires spread throughout the city, destroying more and more of the city, or more and more of the town. I really wish there was a, you know, I know in Thrones of Britannia they added a unit that just did it automatically, but I wish there was more abilities to like sack the city as you made your way through it, if you wanted to. Whether that was you just setting fire to districts, or I don't know, doing other stuff, you know. And it'd be a really good trade-off, because maybe you'd lose that unit for a bit as it makes its way into this district and sets fire. You'd lose that unit for like a minute or so, and obviously the city would be damaged afterwards. But you'd do more damage to the defenders, you know, as the city gets ready to burn and burn and burn. Because right now, I mean, I know in Thrones of Britannia they improved it a bit, but right now it's so hard to like set fire to all of the city. But as we can see, the defenders have kind of lost the outer wall. Over on this other side, Venice have done a great, oh sorry, Genoa have done a great job at holding. But besides that, there's not really a lot of defense elsewhere. Flanders have broken through the center. And Venice are basically in full retreat right now. We have some infantry from Milan trying their best to basically just keep the enemy back for as long as possible. But there's only so long that these guys can fight. And there's only so long that they can hold, especially with the archer fire. Granted, the attackers have spent a lot of their ammunition breaking through this initial layer. And that's why it's so important to defend the initial layer. But the Milan men-at-arms are doing an okay job, especially because they're against so many two-handed sword infantry. I mean, how much missile capacity do the defenders have left? They have gunners, they have crossbows, and they obviously have this inner ring as well, which is going to be hard to break. We have a lot of cavalry up here, a lot of heavy knights, some artillery still shooting. Well, these guys need to be hitting this big blob right there, or maybe even hitting these crossbows. Yeah, they defenders have plenty of missiles left. And they also even have this unit of heavy cavalry from Milan. Well, that's a nice little hit right there, killing a lot of these two-handed, because they look like halberds. They're actually two-handed sword infantry, which are not going to fare well. They have no ability to, like, brace against the cavalry. So, you know, heavy horses are actually really good against killing this elite infantry. You know, these are Imperial Ritter, and that's a lot of the money of the HRE just going down. We also have this... Holy crap! This tower is unloading! Sorry? No wonder they destroyed the goddamn towers. Look at it. It's like a machine gun. It's literally shooting like a FAMAS. Oh my god. No wonder they try to stay away from them. They need to get some artillery to destroy that. I didn't think the artillery... I know the artillery towers were OP, but I didn't think they were that... for shooting that fast. That's insane. But anyway, Milan have done a great job there. Oh, big artillery hit right there. Ripping through the battle lines. Milan have done a good job here at clearing up the HRE's assault. And that's going to be helping them out. But there's just so much more infantry flying into the battle. Now, they could maybe try and sally out of the city. And I think that's what they're going to try and maybe do. Take the wall back, or take the gate back. Come out of the city and try and cause some havoc in the back ranks. Wouldn't be a bad idea. We do, though, have our first little push right here, which is cool. We have Flanders advancing into the city. More of our archers pushing up. Oh, look at that. It's cool, man. That is very cool. I like that. That looks awesome. I love the Venetian shields. And they're marching forward as well. Oh, God. Men, hold. Hold. That looks amazing. Look at that. Both sides just waiting to engage. Venetian flag is ready to go in. Do not help the wounded. I mean, yeah, that's true. You need to fight. Every man counts right now. We do have a crossbows going in as well. Overhead. Both these sides are just... No one's wanting to overcommit to this right now. I mean, I can't blame them either. Every man really does matter. And they do have some gunners somewhere. If the gunners are falling back, I guess they don't really have a good angle. And it doesn't make sense because if they can shoot like down here or in the side, it's probably going to be more effective. But it's just using up all their ammunition is really important. We actually have some halberds trying to make a way into this breach point here. Trier trying to use them effectively. And that's a very good, effective way of, clearing out a breach point is with your halberds. Because on the front, they're basically impenetrable. However, it does leave them extremely vulnerable to missile fire, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing some of the archers over here just basically training themselves to hit these guys with everything they've got. So if we take a look at the overall picture of the city itself, we can see that there is fighting. The inner wall has kind of been taken out now, and the first lane of streets is also starting to be overwhelmed, especially over in this side. However, on the left-hand side, they're still fighting. They have finally secured the walls, which was the main fight of Trier, was securing them walls. What would be really interesting right now as well is if you had any artillery left, which they do, is make a small breach point, which they might be trying to do with this cannon. I don't know if it has any. I don't know if they have like one shot left or not. Make a breach point right here to go ahead and just throw around infantry and start like causing some issues back here. Could be a great strategy. Are these guys fighting yet? No, they're not. Oh, there's a few. There's like one guy just in range. That's hilarious. Over on this other side, though, we do have the cavalry pouring in, though, for the HRE. And the Milan cavalry is going to actually take this fight under the machine gun tower. I can't believe how many arrows, how quickly that shoots. Like, I knew it shot quickly, but didn't realize it was that fast. It's insane. So the heavy knights fighting. Do we have any generals here? No, no generals here. Just the Imperial Ritter along with the dismounted Ritter as well. And the cavalry breaking through the Milan horses and charging onto crossbows. This is a great little snag here by the HRE cavalry. Killing these crossbows with still ammunition left is huge. Bands of Power is looking very convincingly in favour of the attackers as well right now. It seems like they've got the defenders on the back foot. But again, don't pay attention to the Bands of Power. It's not about the Bands of Power. It's about a story. It's about, a cool siege battle that is going on. Ooh. Oh, the HRE cavalry coming in the back. Unfortunately, that charge wasn't as effective as they would like, but that's going to be more than enough, I think, to rout this ducal guard from Milan. They're going to turn around and maybe kill a few of these horses if they try and pull out, but yeah, it's going to be very effective right there. And the infantry is just pouring into the city. Like, it'd be so nice right now if you could just click this unit and just tell it to burn all of this. Reduce more of the city to ruins. Another crossbow unit captured right here as well. That is really good by the attackers. They're managing to secure a lot of these battles in their favour, or these engagements in their favour. Oh yeah, guys, I should mention as well, if you guys want to be a part of these battles, be sure to go ahead and join the Discord. The link will be down below in the description. And if you want to play Rise of Mordor, 1212, Warhammer, there's normally people looking for other members to go ahead and play with. And if not, you can just always host a battle. Just say, hey guys, I'm looking to host this battle. This is the mod and map I'm using. And you can go ahead and create some battles to send in, and maybe you'll be on a YouTube channel. I'm always looking for good replays. Always. Always, always. Whether it's Rise of Mordor, 1212, anything. Warhammer, always looking for a good replay. And as you can see, Trier are now moving their Pavese spearmen into the city. And Genoa are going to be trying to hold their line as strong as they can. As I said, I feel like it's just a matter of time until the city is overwhelmed. We're going to be having some knights coming out now as well. The sword infantry unit does brace as it tries to take the city center, but it's an extremely thin line. I feel like Genoa can probably just smash through this with their knights. Here we go, look at that! The line was way too thin, and that's going to be punished right now. They needed to be a lot more dense than that. The knights just ripping through. However, knights are going to take a volley of arrows, and that's going to take out a few of them. I mean, it's probably a good trade. Losing this infantry unit isn't that big when you've got a big advantage, but killing these horses is very important. They're going to take a couple volleys. I mean, they are cutting down a few of these routing units right now. Another archer volley as well. And they're going to continue on their charge, going right into the side of these dismounted Flemish knights, killing quite a few of them. They killed like 10 or 15 of them right there. They killed a lot more than that. They killed like 20 of them. I mean, I feel like these knights are now kind of, knowing their fate. They're probably not going to make it out. They're just trying to do as much damage as possible, keeping this capture point alive for as long as possible. These capture points go ahead and give you morale buffs to the defenders. So having them is pretty nice. There's some artillery coming in, bombarding the defenders. The tower has finally been secured over here. There's probably so many dead right now. I imagine this unit is probably full strength when it tried to take out this tower. Oh my god, look at it. It's like killing like 4 dudes a shot. That's just insane how OP that tower is. They have managed to basically secure a majority of these capture points down. The defenders have basically retreated all the way back. There's still a bit of fighting here and there though, throughout the city. This kind of being the last thing, but most of the defenders, if they can, have retreated their way back to the inner city, to the last stand. But it's looking very, very bad for Milan, and I imagine this city is going to be burnt to the ground. Because obviously these Italian cities are going to be very, very profitable. Lots and lots of wealth in the north of Italy. So I imagine the Holy Roman Empire is looking to sack this city to the ground to help fund his empire. We'll call the Emperor. I don't know what the Emperor would be at around this time period, but probably Maximilius. They're all Maximilius. The artillery, though, could have taken out as many of these HRE. Basically, I think the Italian coalition right now is basically trying to prevent this HRE army from going any further north. Because obviously Milan is in the north of Italy, right by the Alps. So I imagine they're basically trying to stop them from going any further down. I'm sure Venice can probably recruit some mercenaries. Maybe try and ask Naples for some assistance or something. Maybe even the Pope. They have burnt a few of these churches down. I also recently watched Bourgeois. Bourgeois, is that what it was called? About the Pope and obviously the family, the Catalans. So, also all this Italian stuff is really awesome as well. Such a great TV series. Really awesome. So a lot more infantry now just pouring into the city as I ramble on. But we can see that, they're basically just preparing themselves for the final assault. And what I'll do is I'll cut ahead until they are all in position. Because right now, I imagine there's a lot more maneuvering around the city. A bit more bombardment. We actually also have this one artillery piece left remaining. Just shooting away. So I'll probably hold off until the final assault is ready to go. The final assault has now begun. The Venetians, the men of Milan and Genoa have no escape from this city. This is where their graves will be dug. This is where their bodies will be burnt. There is no escape. The HRE will take what it wants after clearing out the rest of the defenders, coming in basically from every single side. They're very, very quickly about to break through this, and we even have some pretty elite Trier infantry still waiting to come in. We've got some halberds over here. And these guys are going to be really, really useful. They're Elector halberdiers. I guess maybe they'll be given to a lot of the places like the Palatinate and stuff. We can see that they are still putting up a great fight. There's still 10 minutes left in this battle, so it's still going to be, a costly one. The HRE has lost half of their army right now. And again, the numbers are always really, really deceiving because more often or not, the defenders have more men. As you can see, they have 40 more men in this battle. The artillery hit down in the back just killed so many of them halberds. But more often or not, the defenders do end up having more men. And a lot of people say, oh, that's always so stupid. But it's because they just spent their money on cheaper infantry, whereas the attacking armies are normally more elite. We've definitely seen that in this battle, The attackers have I think the attackers generally in Attila sieges get 25% more money. And we've definitely seen that, they've had a lot more of these dismounted knights. men-at-arms. They've had, you know, two-handed sword infantry. Whereas the defenders are kind of, you know, given a lot less. You can just see how effective these two-hand sword infantrymen are right now. Over on this side as well, we have a big engagement. So just slow down the camera right there to let you guys see some awesome shots. And if we take a look over on this other side as well, we can see that the fighting is still commencing as they try and break their way through the shield wall. The last men-at-arms, they're hoping that maybe some truce can be wagered in this battle as they cry out to the HRE. I mean, if anything, they're pretty better off just straight up surrendering more than anything else. In the center as well, you can see there is also a fairly big engagement, but they haven't really committed. They still have a lot of infantry left remaining. These guys probably need to push forward. And there's only so much stuff that they can really do, you know, right? If we insert down here, there's only so much infantry you can really push up. Oh my god, chill. There we go. Wait, what's it doing? Oh, that's a bit messy. I don't really know why it was doing that. The archer fire coming in as well. Just hitting away at these defenders. Look at these guys as well. They're having a bit of a... I think they're putting out their shields as well. For some reason, my keys aren't working properly. There we go. For some reason, it keeps on making my camera really slow. I don't really know why. Oh, artillery here as well. I mean, this is a perfect angle. This is all we need right here. We see halberd v halberd, spearmen behind that. But artillery is just in perfect vision. And they've still got a few more shots left, and also the archers as well. I imagine this spear infantry has been brought up here to basically act as like a shield guard to give the halberds some form of missile protection. Them hits, though, are just direct on the defenders. The Venetians taking so many hits. And they are basically sieging every single part, even back here as well, if we zoom in. Okay guys, I think I fixed it. Basically, for some reason, I think my page down key is broken, so I just went ahead and changed the key really quickly, but hopefully we won't be having any slow-mos anymore. Yeah, they are cool to see, and it comes out quite nicely on YouTube, but, you know, for now, we'll just chill away right here as the fighting does come to its end. How many men do the defenders have left now? Only 1,500. That's still quite a lot of people. That's still like a handful of units. Their marchers in the back are getting cut to pieces as well by the missiles. So these halberds are very strong, and they've been supported by spearmen. So the spearmen are basically there just to act as like a shield for them. You can see you have a lot of... Oh my god, look at Tourette. Sometimes the attackers have far too many crossbows. But this is again one of them. Look at that. They still have all their ammunition left. I feel like at the end of a battle they should definitely be spent. And they're definitely getting some good kills though, that's for sure. What's routing over here as well? Yeah, I think most of the men are routing. These gunners shooting here, these gunners really don't really have anything to shoot at. They haven't really ever got an angle to shoot. They can't shoot into the back because they shoot straight. It's extremely hard to get them to bear. The artillery coming in as well, just trying anything to rattle down. If only you had some of the burning balls to push down these streets, that would have been really cool. I think they normally take far too long to set up though. Look at the dead right there as well. It's pretty goddamn crazy how many people have died there. I mean, the defenders are holding. They really need to break. If they can break through this and there's not enough infantry, basically they just need to break through one side. And what do we have over here? Do we have a breach about to occur? Because as I said, this would be a great... If this infantry... I don't know if it's just been mispressed. But if this cannon is going to shoot... I think it's out of ammunition. But if it's going to shoot its last shot right here, and they just break... Because it's basically destroyed. I think it's out of ammunition, but this unit's just been mispressed. Like, it looks like it's here for a reason. Yeah, there we go. The last shot. This is... Oh, no, it didn't destroy it. It's 91%. That would have been huge right there. They could have made that breach. Yeah, that's out of ammunition now, unfortunately. The artillery, though, this it could easily come in. We're going to be getting a cavalry charge here by Genoa, charging in their heavy knights. Looking to do anything they can to withstand this assault. Yeah, so unfortunate. If they're going to push some infantry around here, the defenders would have just been cut to pieces. Because they just don't have the infantry to defend against multiple assaults. We do have, yeah, this artillery is now making its way over. So this is a really good fort by Tourier. It's just Tourier, how you pronounce it. This is a really good idea. It just kind of came a little bit too late. Also, I think this part of the wall is actually indestructible as well, due to this being here. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to break. Maybe you can break down this part of the wall. I guess you can. I just thought it was maybe, yeah, impassable because of that. You know, that's how you get off the walls, but maybe not. Everywhere else, we're even getting crossbowmen thrown into the engagement right now as well. Even crossbowmen are having to fight for their lives and routing. I mean, there's nowhere to route, guys. You can make your way out of the city, be my guest, but imagine you'll be picked up very, very quickly. There is simply no escape.
The men have given up and are running for their lives.
I was going to see more numbers are dropping. I mean, the attackers are down to 3,700, so they're definitely losing more men. And this central assault is kind of over. We do now finally have the gunners, though, shooting. They can finally start shooting their shot, but it's going to be far too late, I think. It's such a valuable unit as well, because they can unload some pretty serious damage, but there's just nothing really for them to shoot at. Did the city end up getting any more burnt? No, it didn't, unfortunately. Yeah, this part of the wall, I think it's up to 94%. We have more dudes going over. What we should really do is just collect everyone's cavalry and just pile through here. Take care of the other dude's cavalry and then continue to move on. Because we do have the general now as well. In the last couple of minutes. Is he dismounted? I think he's dismounted. Yeah, he's got off his horse. Now he's fighting on foot. That's cool. I always love that. Just someone using that mechanic where you can dismount your horses. So, I mean, there's definitely, you know, good reason to do that sometimes when you're coming up against heavy spear armies and stuff. Crossbow volley, though. Wow. Or did they? Or no, maybe it's just these horses here and I'm mistaken. No, I think they have dismounted, which is cool. I guess they just gave up on this plan to destroy this part of the wall, I guess, which is unfortunate. More infantry brought up on every single side. Only 2 minutes left of this battle, though. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I really appreciate it. Also, how the hell did this Imperial Ritter get round the back? I guess they pushed through somewhere and just took heavy casualties to do so. They're trying to break this unit of this foot infantry from Venice, but they're struggling. From Milan, sorry. But they're a really good cavalry unit, and the Venetian general is going to, the Doge himself, is going to charge into the back of the Ritter, and I mean, they're not going to break. They might break. The morale is kind of low. And they do break them. Oh, wow, that is huge. And now the flood of HRE men are just going to pour into the city. And that's going to be all she wrote. There's only a minute left of this battle. His right-hand side is now breached. So they basically just breached simultaneously now as well. Every single side, just a mass rout. The city is lost. They can basically just triple speed as the last couple cavalry come flying into the city, looking to kill these gunners. Cavalry is done as well. The Doge is like the only guy left. With some loyal of his bodyguard now. He's going to charge in, obviously be surrounded. Oh my god, look at that. The Genoan general is routing, and he's lost one man. And there's nowhere for him to go. He's trying to find a way out, but the cavalry is not going to let him. Oh my god, the Emperor himself is chasing down the cavalry. And there we go, Pyrrhic victory for the HRE and the attackers. So as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a really, really fun battle. Sorry about the issues I had with the camera towards the end, but hopefully it didn't affect the battle too much. Massive shout out to everyone who played in this battle. Please, please, please send me more 12-12 battles. I'm slowly going through a backlog. I have another 2 or so battles left of 12-12, and then I'm completely out. So please do, guys, if you want to play in these battles or you have some cool 12 sieges, send them in, or even land battles. Always looking for more land battles and custom map battles. Anything you guys have replay wise, send them my way. Take a look at the kills though. Did anyone really rack up a crazy amount? 500 kills on these Flemish Knights. That's insane. That's really strong. And even these dismounted Flemish Knights over here have over 300 kills. On the HRE side, again, the cavalry is so strong. And this crossbow unit getting 373 kills. Not too bad. Finally, if we take a look at Trier, we can see that the dismounted Elector Knights right here doing a great damage. And again, the Knights, 400 kills. They're just so strong in this time period. Over on the defenders' side, the coalition of Italian states who did not fare too well. Again, their knights really being the MVP for them. Over here, we have some crossbows with over 100 kills. Some of the Ducal Guard from Milan getting over 200 kills, not too bad. And then finally, we do have Venice, the Doge's bodyguard doing pretty good in their crossbows. Really, really strong part of their force. And also these guys right here, which I think are javelins maybe? They kind of look like javelins, like they're throwing something. They got 200 kills, so not too bad there for defenders. Overall, an awesome battle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment. It lets me know that you want to see more, and also just really helps out the channel more than you guys know, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.